Okay, Republicans gearing up for a battle over Obamacare, not just with Democrats, but potentially GOP governors as well. According to analysts, Speaker Paul Ryan's plan to replace the law would likely cut funding for Medicaid. That is something many Republican governors have said they oppose after they expanded the program under the Affordable Care Act. Let's bring in now Sarah Isger Flores. She's former deputy campaign manager for Carly Fiorina, former RNC spokeswoman and fellow at the Harvard Institute of Politics. And Adam Green is here. He's a Democratic strategist and co-founder of the Progressive Change Campaign Committee. Good to see you both.
Good to be here.
And Sarah, you're up first. So Speaker Ryan's dislike for government-supported health care or throwing a lifeline to Republican governors, which position do you think will prevail, or might there be some sort of compromise between the two?
Well, I think we have to set the foundation of what happened here. Obamacare passed with zero Republican support because Democrats didn't want any help trying to fix this law. And so it's been a disaster. It's increased costs. It's decreased access. And it's why, politically at least, it's been a disaster for Democrats. Republicans now hold 31 governorships, 2/3 of the legislatures in the states. Now, what they then promised was that there'd be this free federal money that would expand Medicaid. They'd get 100% federal dollars at the beginning and then 90% federal dollars later. But we all know that federal money is still taxpayer dollars. So the people in the states who were told they were getting free money were still actually just getting their tax dollars redistributed. And so, yes, Republicans now are going to have to try to fix this mess that has been caused, and it is certainly harder to govern than it is to criticize. But I think Speaker Ryan has a great plan to do this. We will have to work out the details of how you roll back some of these expansions, including Medicaid, including pre-existing conditions. But frankly, what we have now is a disaster of a healthcare mess on our hands that wasn't going to be sustainable regardless.
All right. Adam, so since the election, the Republicans, they've been rallying behind cohesiveness. Could the healthcare situation, though, foster division instead? And if that becomes the case, I mean, what might be the points of contention?
Yeah, well, first, I think what we just heard, Speaker Ryan has a great plan, are actually the operative words here. Because this is not something that Donald Trump barnstormed the country campaigning on. This is a longtime Republican establishment, Republican elite plan aimed at shifting money from hardworking people to tax breaks for corporations to ship jobs overseas. And Donald Trump is kind of going along with the flow. One of many times he'll likely betray his own voters to side with Paul Ryan, the Republican establishment, and corporations. And to be clear, what Medicaid is support for hardworking people, often who work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, whose employers do not provide health insurance, who are on the verge of being able to afford health care, and it gives them a little bit of help doing that, providing for their families. It's not a giveaway to anything other than hardworking people, and it's very weird that Republicans would make this the front burner agenda item for their new administration.
Sarah, let me go back to you now. President-elect Trump on the campaign trail said he would get rid of Obamacare. It would be first on his agenda. He has since altered that hard stance, signaling that he might overhaul instead of overturn. What do you think of President Trump's health care plan will end up looking like, Sarah?
Well, the first priority has to be access. And what happened under Obamacare was that, sure, we put hardworking people on government health care where doctors were no longer taking Medicaid patients.
Right. So what do you think of President Trump's plan will look like, Sarah?
It's not government health care. It's private health care. It's private health care that the government was helping hardworking people pay for. This proposal would not in any way repeal Obamacare. It would merely take money away from hardworking families that are trying to buy coverage, whether it's under Obamacare or elsewhere. Why would Republicans support that?
Here's what we need to do. We need to move to catastrophic plans back what we had before, where people can actually choose what level of health care they want. A lot of young people don't want a Cadillac plan where it covers everything, including body parts that they don't even have. Second of all, we need to have interstate competition, something that would lower prices, something that the Democrats, for some reason, have just refused to acknowledge it would be a solution. And absolutely, we need to lower the costs and increase access, something that, again, Democrats didn't want any help from Republicans on. They own this mess, and now Republicans are going to have to own trying to fix it.
Adam, I'll give you 20 seconds. I got to go.
It's really fun when the Republican establishment gives away the game plan. When you hear catastrophic plan, what that means is if you don't get hit by a Mack truck, you're not covered. If you have a cold, if you have a flu, if you have an ailment, you're not covered. And why on earth Paul Ryan and Trump?
25% increase.
Adam Green, Sarah.
That's not what Trump campaigned on. That is not what Trump campaigned on.
Thank you very much, guys. Okay.
Thank you.